Hello students of the 12th class physics, this is your video number 17 and the heading is application of Gauss theorem. Okay, so in the last video I explained you about the other two applications of Gauss theorem. There are so many applications of Gauss theorem, but three are important for the examination point of view, and the third one is your heading, electric field due to uniformly charged infinite thin sheet. Okay, what is infinitely thin sheet? I am going to explain you. This is your infinite sheet, but it is not possible to make the infinite sheet here. So suppose this is infinite here, everywhere. I am taking finite side. It is uniformly charged. Okay, and this is a point P where electric field is to determine. So I will take a Gaussian surface. I will explain you later. So this is the infinite plane sheet. Okay. Electric field due to uniformly charged infinite thin sheet. Thin sheet, I explained you earlier. Let us consider uniformly charged infinite thin sheet of surface charge density sigma. I told you earlier there are three types of charge density. One is lambda, sigma and rho. So this is sigma because we are taking the area here. Come to the next page. Yes, this one. So this is your infinite sheet, student. As I told you earlier, this is a point P. Actually, I am not mentioning here. Right now I am going to mention it. This is P. And this is the distance R from this sheet and where electric field is to determine. And since we are discussing the Gauss theorem, so we need a Gaussian surface. What is Gaussian surface? I told you one more time. Yes, this one. This cylindrical surface of R and R, 2R length and area ds is your Gaussian surface. I am showing you one more time. The length of the cylinder as a Gaussian surface is 2R and this area is your ds. This is cross-sectional area. This is your curved surface area. I told you so many times in earlier videos. Okay students, so I am going to read it for you. P is a point where E is to determine, where symbols have their usual meaning. So this is point P at distance R. As usual, electric field be here and n cap is here. So both are at the same angle, so theta would be 0 degree here. You see one more time. Electric field is here and area vector n cap is here also. So this is, both are in same direction, so theta here is 0 degree. Here at rightward as well as here is also theta 0 degree. But what about the curved surface area? Since the area is this one, so n cap would be here and electric field is here, so theta is as usual 90 degree. Okay, so these are the different angle and I am going to apply the Gauss theorem on each one of this. Okay, come to this one. Electric flux through the curved surface. Where are curved surface? I am going to show you one more time in the diagram. This one. These are the curved surface area. This one, blue lines. This one, not this one. This one are not. Cross-sectional areas are not. This is the curved surface area and here is theta 90 degree. So I am going to calculate it in the next page. Yes, electric flux through curved surface area phi 1 is phi E dot ds, as you know it. Phi 1 equal to phi 1 equal to surface integral E ds cos 90. Cos 90 is 0. It is simple maths of 9th class or 10th class. So it is 0. So phi 1 is 0. So we got equation number 1, students. Now come to the next page. In next page, I am going to calculate electric flux through the cross-sectional area, that is phi 2 E dot ds. Why there is not surface integral here like that? I am going to show you. There was a surface integral when I was calculating phi 1 for curved surface, because in this figure you can see this curved surface is a larger area, so need the integration. But this area is very small already, ds. Also this is very small ds. So there is no need of surface integral. So come to the mathematical portion, student. Again I am going to read it. Electric flux through the cross-sectional area phi 2 is equal to 2 E dot ds. There is no surface integral. Why it is 2 times? Because there are two cross-sectional areas. Cos 0, okay, there is missing term, okay students, so I am writing it 2 E ds cos 0. Okay, not 0, it would be cos 0. I'm going to write it one more time. This statement is, this formula is 2e ds cos 0. So cos 0 is 1. Yes, so this is cos 0 1. It is by mistake 0 degree. Don't take it as a 0 degree, otherwise this phi 2 would be 0. Okay, this is simple correction, you can do it. I can't do this, but you can do it at your copy. Okay, so don't bother about that. Phi 2 is equal to E ds. Okay, so what would be the total flux? Total flux would be phi 1 plus phi 2, and as the electric flux, so phi E is equal to phi 1 plus phi 2. Come to the next page. From equation 1, 2 and 3 we have phi E is equal to 2 EDS, that is your equation number 4. By Gauss theorem, since we are studying the application of Gauss theorem, so I am going to apply it. It is electric flux equal to surface integral equal to dq by q naught. Why I am taking dq, I am going to explain you in the figure. Yes, since Gaussian surface covers not the whole sheet, only small portion, small ds area, so charge would be not total q, it would be dq. So I am not taking q by epsilon naught, I am taking dq by epsilon. So come to the original mathematical part where I left it. Yes, phi E is equal to surface integral E dot ds dq by epsilon naught. It is simple. So since we know that, okay, since we know that sigma equal to dq by ds, dq is equal to sigma ds. This is your equation number 6. From equation 4, 5 and 6, what is 4? I am going to show you one more time. This is your 4. This value will be put here, and the value of dq also will put it here from equation number 6. So we can say from equation 4, 5 and 6 we have 2 eds equal to sigma ds. So ds would be cancelled out, and E is equal to sigma 2 epsilon naught. So this is the student, your electric field. This is your electric field due to uniformly charged infinite thin sheet. Since electric field is the vector quantity, so we need a vector. This is the vector form multiplied by n cap. Since n cap is a unit vector, so value will not change and the directional property will come out. So there are two equations, student. One is in value or magnitude of the electric field due to uniformly charged infinite thin sheet at a distance r, and another equation number 8 is for your vector form of the same electric field. So I am going to tell you what from where we started. Yes, student, we started from the application of Gauss theorem, electric field due to uniformly charged infinite thin sheet. Okay, then I told you about the diagram. This is the infinite plane sheet. These are the Gaussian surface of length 2r and cross-sectional area ds. Okay, we applied Gauss theorem here, and after some calculation we got the value of electric field as well as the vector of the electric field. Okay students, so in this video I finished about the application of Gauss theorem. What is, I am going to start it just from where we started. Application of Gauss theorem, there were three main applications. There are so many other applications are also present, but I am not going to explain you because it is not a part of your CBSE course. So the three are very important, which I explained you earlier videos, and in this video the last one I explained you, electric field due to uniformly charged infinite thin sheet, and you have the values. Okay students, so this is probably the second last video of this chapter 1. You can ask, there are 17 videos in this chapter, so why this is too long? This is not too long. I am just fulfilling the requirement of NCERT. I am going to elaborate it, every point, every figure, what is the meaning of symbols, so it is taking longer. What you have to do, you just copy these notes. Okay, first you download it and then copy it. in the last video, in the last video I explained to you about the application of Gauss theorem, but in the next video I will explain you about the torque acting on an electric dipole and some remaining points of this chapter, and I will finish this chapter in the next video. So I am going to stop this video, and definitely it is going to the end of the application of Gauss theorem.